Hi guys, welcome to The Attic. My name's Mark Jago. I'm a philosophy professor in the UK. In this video, I wanted to talk you through how you might go about picking a topic for your undergrad dissertation. Okay, so if that sounds good to you, do me a favour before we get going. Hit thumbs up, that really helps me out. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to get notifications. Okay, so the first thing to think about is, do you need to do a dissertation? Okay, so some degree courses make you do a dissertation. It's a requirement, but for a lot of them nowadays, you don't have to do a dissertation. So a lot of students don't have the full information about this, so check. A lot of students I've talked to have said, I think I need to do a dissertation, but when we've checked, they actually don't. You get exactly the same degree, whether you do a dissertation or not. Most universities modular system, so you pick different modules and that makes up your degree. The dissertation is one module, so you can either do this module over here or this module over here, or you can do a dissertation. It's up to you. So check what your degree requires. Your next question is, should you do a dissertation? How do you decide whether to do one or not? In my experience, for most students, it's not the best option. Dissertation marks tend to be spread rather more widely than for a standard module. Okay, that means some people go really high marks and some people go really low marks. So there's a chance that the dissertation, you might get lower marks than you're used to, and that might mess up your overall degree. So for a lot of people, a dissertation isn't the right option. And for some people, it's a really, really good option. So I'll talk a little bit about why that might be a good option. There's basically two main reasons why a dissertation would be a good option for you. The first one is, if you like that kind of independent research and writing, and you like that way of assessment much more than exam-based stuff, okay? So for somebody who doesn't like the pressure of exams, but does like independent working and writing it all up in advance, kind of as coursework, then that's an indication that a dissertation might be a good thing for you. A bonus of that would be if you're doing your dissertation in your last year, your last semester or whatever, you're going to have fewer final exams. It takes the pressure off a little bit. Second indication that a dissertation would be the right thing for you is if you already know what the topic's going to be, right? So going through your undergrad degree, you might have bumped into this topic and thought to yourself, wow, this is such an interesting topic. I want to say something about this. I've got a lot to say. I want to write something about it. But maybe you haven't already covered it in a module. You haven't been assessed in it already in an essay. If that's the case for you, then that's a good indicator that that's the topic that you want to be covering for your dissertation. And if you already know that, then that's an indication that a dissertation is a good thing for you. If you're getting close to the time when you have to decide what you're going to do in your dissertation and you haven't really got a clue what you want to do it on, probably that indicates that a dissertation isn't the right thing for you. On the other hand, if you've got a bunch of topics that you think might do and you can't decide between them, then maybe a dissertation's right for you and you need a bit of help with picking which topic to write on. Okay, that's what we're going to talk through. So often if you're going to be doing a dissertation in your final year, you have to select your topic and maybe even write a proposal over the summer. Okay, so that's why we're thinking about this now in May, June of the year before. Okay, so you spend a bit of time over the summer thinking about your topic, maybe doing a bit of reading, writing your proposal, so when you start the new year in September, bang, you're ready to go with that dissertation topic. Okay, so if you've decided that you do want to write an undergrad dissertation, how do you actually go about picking a topic? So here are some pointers. First up, pick something that you enjoy. I mean, that sounds pretty obvious, but some people pick a topic because they think, this will be easy to write on, or this is the kind of thing dissertations should be about. Forget all that. Pick a topic that you're interested in, but make sure it also fits the other criteria that I'm going to talk about. Don't just pick your favourite topic if it doesn't fit these other boxes. Maybe most important of all, make it achievable. Okay, again, that's obvious. You want to make it achievable. What does that mean? Well, what are you trying to achieve with this dissertation? For most people, what you're really trying to get to is you want a good mark at the end of it, and you want to be able to say that you've got those research skills through having done the dissertation. But probably the good mark at the end of it is the most important thing. How do you do that? Well, you kind of dial down on your ambition, okay? So if you start off your dissertation thinking, yeah, I'm absolutely going to solve this problem. Well, most academic problems have been around for a very long time with an awful lot of people thinking about them, so you might not be able to solve it once and for all in 4 or 5 months of an undergrad degree. I mean, if you do, that's fantastic, but it doesn't happen very often. So kind of dial down the ambition and think more in terms of, can you demonstrate that you know the literature, and can you write clearly about it, and can you evaluate some views and maybe put a bit of originality in there by maybe taking a view, finding a problem and tweaking the view a little bit so that it avoids that particular problem. That's kind of the right sort of scope for an undergrad dissertation. The length of the dissertation, well, they tend to be around 7, 8, 9, 10,000 words. That's a bit like a journal article. That doesn't mean that you should have the same ambition as a journal article, right? Because often journal articles, the research behind them takes, 6 months, a year, even longer. You're not going to have that amount of time to put into the research for it, particularly if you're doing other modules at the same time. So even though the length of it is like a journal paper, still scale down the ambition. What you want to be doing is reading the relevant literature, evaluating the theories, discussing them, evaluating them, kind of working out which is your favourite, maybe finding a problem, tweaking the view. That would be your ideal kind of undergrad dissertation scope. Pick an issue that's got loads of literature already on it. One of the biggest problems I've seen with undergrad dissertations is, someone comes to me with this crazy idea, I want to do about this, I want to do about that. Okay, what are you going to read? I don't know, I couldn't really find any literature on it. Okay, if that's the case, don't pick that topic. You're just going to make your life super, super hard, and you're probably not going to come out with a very good dissertation. The best ones I've seen are ones where there's already lots of literature, good quality literature published in the best journals. You read that stuff, you discuss that stuff, because the literature is a high level, you can discuss it at a high level. That's really the best way to get the highest marks in your dissertation, as well as making your life as easy as it can be through that process. You're going to need somebody in your department to supervise this dissertation, so it's kind of got to be a topic that somebody knows something about or has an interest in. However, I don't think it's super, super important that they're like a world-leading expert. That's important at PhD level, a little bit less important at MA level. At undergrad level, they don't have to be an expert, right? I've supervised undergrad dissertations in stuff that I know a bit about, or I could go and read a bit about, but it's not the end of the world if your supervisor isn't already an expert on it. It does help if you get on with them, because they're going to be giving you feedback, but, over the few months that you're going to be writing this, you're probably only going to meet them 4, 5, 6 times. So, if they are not your favourite lecturer in the world, it's not the end of the world. You can still get a good experience and write a good dissertation on this. So I think the ideal scenario in working out which topic you want to write on, like I said before, is you're going through your degree, a topic kind of jumps out at you and says, write on me, or you think to yourself, I've got stuff to say about this, okay? If that's the case, that's probably one of the topics that you should really consider. Well, if there's a couple of topics like this and you're not sure which to pick, well, think about the other things I talked about. Is there someone in the department who can supervise it? Which one is more achievable? Which is the right kind of scope? Which one do you think you could write most accurately and convincingly on to kind of get you those high marks? And if there's no topics that are jumping out at you like that, well, then maybe consider that a dissertation isn't going to be a good option for you. I'm not saying that it isn't, I just think you should think about it before you jump into it. Okay guys, so there are a few pointers to help you think through whether you should do an undergrad dissertation, and if you do want to do one, what topic should you pick? I hope you found that useful. If you've got any questions, leave me a comment below. I try to reply to all of them. Thanks for listening this far. If you found it useful, give me a thumbs up, that really helps me out. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications. I'm going to be making plenty more videos like this. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you back on Attic Philosophy soon.